What's up guys, Training Pal here. Bodyweight skills are among the most common reasons why we love calisthenics so much. Not only can they be used to develop huge strength and a great body, but they also look so awesome.
The desire to be able to do them was something that motivated me to train the most at the beginning. However, practically all of the best skills are quite difficult and take a lot of time to master. This is because they not only require vast amounts of strength, but also an excellent control and awareness of your body. Using the progressions, also known as easier variations of the skill, is an awesome tool to build up the necessary strength, but doesn't teach you what it feels like to be in the final position. This is why using resistant bands is a great way to learn skills even faster. If used properly, the bands make performing the skill easier without changing the mechanics of it. You still have to use the same exact muscles and position your body in the same exact way, but without the strength needed for the skill. This way you can train your body and mind to know what it means to hold, for example, front lever properly, that is, holding the body straight and parallel to the ground. It's a very common problem for people to think that they are doing it right, but in fact their hips are too low and thus the body isn't horizontal. It applies to all the other skills as well.
In this video I'm gonna show you how to use resistance bands to develop this mind-body connection. Without further ado, let's get to the specific skills.
Here's what you have to do to make the band help you hold the human flag in the most comfortable way. First, you need to attach the band to the upper handle in case of horizontal handles, or just above your upper hand in case of vertical pole. Then you have to put a proper leg into the loop, that is the one which is going to be on top when you're already holding the human flag. Just be careful not to put your balls into the loop. The green band helps quite a lot here, but the flag still isn't easy. I can hold it for 2-3 seconds on my weaker side, but with the band I'm able to do it for 10 or 15 seconds. I also tried the purple band and it makes things easier as well, but it's a little more comfortable. Muscle up is pretty straightforward with the band. You need to attach it to the bar and put one or both feet into the loop. Another important thing to note is that you have to keep your knees extended all the time. If you would bend them, the band would get shorter and thus help you less getting above the bar. Even if you can do 1 or 2 reps without any help, doing the muscle ups with a band is going to be greatly beneficial for you. First of all, it's going to let you do more reps and practice the exact move more extensively. And secondly, you can perform harder variations of the muscle up with the band, like wide or narrow grip muscle ups, or explosive muscle ups. Using bands is a great way to learn front lever. The best way to do it, in my opinion, is to grab a band with both hands, put it behind you on your lower back and get into the position. The most convenient bars to do that are dip bars. They are usually on a perfect height. If you don't have such possibility, you can use a higher bar, but you have to stretch the band as you reach for it. That may be difficult with particularly high pull-up bars. However, if you have rings, they can be used to make things very easy, because they let you adjust the height according to your needs. This one is actually quite tricky. I tried a couple of different setups and none of them seemed to work good for me. The band was forcing me to rotate all the time or lifting my legs in a weird way as I was trying to go up. However, after testing many different ways of attaching the band, I finally found a perfect one. Here's how to do it if you pull up with your right hand. Put your right foot into the loop and grab the bar on the left side of the band. Then put your left leg between the band and your right leg, so the band wraps behind it. This setup is ideal because the band does not make you rotate too much and allows you to stay vertical throughout the whole move. Keep your legs straight to get uniform assistance during the movement. Back lever is probably the easiest of the skills I'm showing here, but that doesn't mean you can't use the band to practice it. Here's the best way to get into the position. Grab the band with both hands and reach for the bar. Then lift your hips up and put your feet through the loop. It's not the easiest thing in the world to do for a beginner, but after some practice you should be able to do it without any problems. Another way of getting into the position that I found requires you to hang on the bar by your knees. Then you just hold the band in your hands and reach for the bar. The most convenient method, however, is using the rings. You just need to get into an inverted hang position and then lower yourself slowly on the band. Using the band for planche hold is a little bit tricky because you need it to be on a very specific height. Finding a proper setup for a particular band requires you to do a few tests. Great way to make things easier is, again, use rings to adjust the band height freely. Here I'm using a purple band attached directly to a pull-up bar, and it seems to work quite good for me. This way you can do negatives quite comfortably as well. V-sit requires a simple setup to work great. You need to hook up the band to the dip bars and put your feet into the loop. The band is pulling strongly when your legs are on the ground, but as you go up, it assists less and less. When you hold an actual V-sit, it helps just a little bit. You can adjust the amount of assistance you get by moving closer or away from the bar. To do the band-assisted ring muscle-ups, you need to put the band behind you and hold it in your hands as you grab the rings. Then get into the support position and sit on the band as you go down. Be sure to lock out your elbows at the bottom of the move to practice this important aspect of a proper rings muscle-up. Hold the false grip all the time you're under the rings. And lastly, handstand push-ups. I haven't really found a good way to use bands for assistance. The method you watch me use right now is pretty good, but getting your feet into the band is a hard thing to do. I had to use years of my experience in handstands to do it smoothly. This other way I found is much easier but looks quite stupid. You need to attach the band to the dip bars and put your head inside. It works, but isn't the most comfortable method.
I hope this video showed you one of the benefits of owning a set of resistance bands. If you'd like to get them for yourself, the link is in the description below. If you use this link to place an order, you help to support my channel, so I'd be very grateful for doing that. If you wonder which bands to choose, I recommend getting the set of black, purple and green one, because they together fulfill all the needs for calisthenics, whether you are a beginner or an advanced athlete. Thanks again and see you in the next video.
If you need help with calisthenics, would like to learn skills like human flag, front lever or planche, or you're a beginner and could use a guidance, then check out my Patreon page for details. If you like my videos, please subscribe to the channel. Thanks and see you next time.